Never Forever 2007. In New York City, middle-aged Sophie, married to well-off businessman Andrew, has been trying unsuccessfully to get pregnant. Her husband's family, devout Korean Catholics, prays for the couple. His failure to have a child is deeply shameful to him. So when he attempts suicide, she tries something extreme. She follows Jiha, undocumented Korean immigrant who resembles her husband, from a fertility clinic to his apartment, where she proposes to hire him to sire a child. She offers $300 per session and $30,000 if she gets pregnant. After several sessions, neither is able to keep emotion out of the arrangement. Where can this relationship go? And what about her husband? Will her actions save him and their marriage? The movie touches so many important issues such as interracial marriage, faith and religion, class determined by economic factor and illegal immigrant. Yet those issues are so well blended without distracting the audience attention from the main story. The main story is purely simple. It's a woman's struggle to keep a man she loves happy. But in the end, she realizes that she has to pursue her own happiness. We are just Celebrity Presents Top 10 movies like Never Forever. Number 10. Stockholm East 2011. Stockholm East is a moving and compelling love story between two strangers, bound together by a tragedy that has taken its toll on both their lives and their relationships. When Johan and Anna meet at the railway station connecting capital Stockholm with the idyllic suburbs where they both live, they embark on a dangerous journey of both passion and lies. Films with intrigues related to death and passion usually enable character actor to show their talent in full, even if the plot leaves to be desired. This is also the case here with Stockholm East, where Michael Persbrandt and Even Jagel above all give convincing and profound performances. The script, however, has questionable moments, even when considering the event happening in modern world, with internet and yellow press included. Behaviors of character are logical but expected, paving the way for trivial ending. General mood is oppressive and hectic. Number 9. The Crossing 2004. While driving home in the country playing love games with his gorgeous wife Liv by the cellular, the successful Andreas has a car accident and becomes crippled and impotent. His young wife leaves him, and while alone in his big house, he receives the visit of a handyman from the social service. Wagner builds walkways and installs an elevator to facilitate the life of Andreas. Meanwhile, Liv supersedes her trauma and returns home. And Andreas, unable to satisfy her love desire, proposes she has love with Wagner. Liv becomes close to Wagner and discloses a dark secret from his past, and the stranger unravels the truth about him and his real intentions. The Crossing by Norwegian director Martin Espag is a different thriller well worth a watch. Martin has directed quite a handful of films both in Norway and Sweden. Script is by Eric Dahl, which wrote the brilliant dark crime comedy Head Above Water. This thriller is different and lingering in the beginning, but all the way it keeps your interest. Slowly it moves toward a much faster paced rhythm. Trond Foss plays as always great here, followed by Stein Wawin as the wife and Finnish actor Svante Martin as Wagner. Number 8. Mankora 2008. An adventure drama that tells the story of Santiago, a 22-year-old from Lima. Following his father's suicide, haunted by his inner demons and hatred for the world in general, Santiago decides to escape the crude Lima winter to take refuge in Mankora, a beach to the north of Peru where it is always summer. Upon his departure, Santiago received the unexpected visit from his stepsister Ximena, a young and beautiful photographer in her late 20s, accompanied by her husband Inigo, a young surgeon from Spain. The three take off on a journey escaping reality and in search of themselves. Santiago and Ximena find refuge in each other, which spark of jealousies within Inigo, and a trip that was intended to be a simple escape turned out to be much more. When each of the three crosses limit and borders they should never have crossed, the three are placed face to face with their dreams and demons. Mankora is a story of redemption where a kid becomes a man and learns to forgive the world. Number 7. The Japanese Wife Next Door Part 2 2004. Every choice you make can change the course of your life. This is the premise of the Japanese Wife Next Door series. Beginning exactly the same as Part 1, a businessman's life is almost complete. All he needs is a wife. He meets two women, and this time he marries the rich one, whose family just happened to be a bunch of sociopaths. This is not quite as good as the first Japanese Wife Next Door, but is still great fun and very well made with glee, I might add, from all appearances. Beginning exactly as before with a young man in a bar trying to decide between two ladies. Then he marries and there is a lot of love in the extended family home. There is no Japanese Wife Next Door. Well, there probably is because this is Japan, but we don't see next door, but never mind. Extended love scenes are well executed, and this time there is the seeming bonus of SM scenes in the roof space. Anyway, that aside, there is plenty to enjoy, and once again the fogging barely conceals anything, and this one features an excellent appearance from the star of the first, the bold, bubbly and bouncy Reiko Yamaguchi. Movie is directed by Yutaka Ikejima. Number 6. The Piano Player 1999 follows three men who are in love with a most beautiful waitress, an intellectual restaurant owner, a mysterious musician, and an erratic businessman, taking place during the World War II. Budapest in the 30s. The restaurant owner Laszlo hired the pianist Andras to play in his restaurant. Both men fall in love with the beautiful waitress Ilona, who inspired Andras to his only composition. His song of Gloomy Sunday is at first loved and then feared for its melancholic melody trigger of a chain of suicides. The fragile balance of the erotic Ménage à Trois is sent off kilter when the German Hans goes and falls in love with Ilona as well. Fact and fiction combine to provide a delightfully entertaining film about a restaurant in Budapest. Clientele flocked there for the good food, the good music, and I dare say the beautiful Ilona who served on the tables. What more could one wish for? Unfortunately, the good times do come to an end when the Nazis sweep into Hungary and decide forthwith to eliminate the Jewish population. Number 5. Patrick 2019. A bereaved nudist campsite handyman finds himself on an existentialist quest as he attempts to recover his missing favorite hammer. The Patrick is a family drama about people's peculiarities, about letting go and being happy with who you are. 39-year-old Patrick lives with his parents on a naturist campsite. When his domineering father Rudy dies, he finds himself in charge of the campsite. However, he has other things on his mind. He has lost his favorite hammer. The long-term camp guests want him to get a grip on his life, but he is determined to find his hammer. His search becomes an existential quest. The poster artwork is actually a homage to the cover art of the soundtrack by the King to the 1970s film Percy. That film has a connection with this, being about a very particular organ transplant. Tim Milland stated that he based the story on some of his own experiences from when he visited a naturist campsite with his parents when he was younger. Tulip Fever 2017. An artist falls for a young married woman while he is commissioned to paint her portrait during the tulip mania of 17th century Amsterdam. In 17th century Amsterdam, an orphan girl Sophia is possibly married to a rich and powerful merchant Cornelis Sandwood, unhappy arrangement that saves her from poverty. After her husband commissions a portrait, she begins a passionate affair with the painter Jan van Loos, a struggling young artist. Seeking to escape the merchant's ever-reaching grasp, the lover risks everything and enters the frenzied tulip bulb market, with the hope that the right bulb will make a fortune and buy their freedom. Tulip Mania is one of Europe's weirdest historical events. Unfortunately, the movie barely touches on the tulip market craze, except as a deus ex machina to burst of sudden wealth and loss on character who we barely care about and who do nothing to deserve it. The main problem with the film is that the love triangle that is supposed to be the main story appears out of nowhere. One of the characters simply looks up pensively as if he just solved a riddle and declared, "I am in love." Number 3. Viva 2007. Two suburban couples experiment with love, drug and bohemia in early 1970s Los Angeles. Barbie is a beautiful but bland suburban housewife whose handsome mate Rick is more interested in his career than in quenching his wife's sensual thirst. When up-and-coming actor Mark and his open-minded wife Sheila move in next door, Barbie discovers they are more than willing to help her find the thrills she's been missing. Before long, Mark and Sheila part company, and when Rick finds out about Barbie's extramarital dalliances, he walks out on her. Free to do as she pleases, Barbie changes her name to Viva and teams up with Sheila to join the front lines of the love revolution, enjoying assassination with dizzying variety of partners, including hipster artist Clyde, psychedelic naturalist Elmer, experimental theater advocate Arthur, glamorous model Agnes, and lovely, ambiguous hairstylist Simon. But will Viva's appetite for the ecstatic lead her into dangerous and unexpected places? Director Anna Biller posted on Twitter that Viva was inspired by old Playboy cartoons. Placed side by side, the sets were exact copies down to the pattern of the wallpaper. Number 2. Despite the Night 2015. Lance returned to Paris to find his only true love, Madeline. As his search for her continues, he finds himself getting sucked into the dark and cruel underworld of the porn industry. After living in the north of England, Lance returned to Paris, the city where he stayed for some time. He learned the strange disappearances of his mother, Madeline, and set out to find her. For help, he can count on his friend Louis. He meets Helen, who has lived in Paris for years. She is German and works as a nurse and married to Paul. She does not recover from the death of her child. This personal drama shook the couple. Paul is still in love with her, but bruised and feeling misunderstood, she has moved away. To forget her grief, she physically hurt herself. He also meets young Lena, a singer who has an overprotective father. She is Louis' girlfriend, but she wants to live with Lance, but he refuses her. This makes her very jealous. This is about the human psyche, about addiction, about fulfillment, and about trying to find meaning but also getting off as much as possible. And to do that, going to extremes. There are some very troubled individuals we get to see here. Number 1. King of Ravens 2020. A love drama that takes place in the world of illegal immigrants in southern Germany, which is characterized by struggle and solidarity. It is an opulently told love story of Elena, a young Macedonian, and Darko. A young Macedonian Darko lives illegally in Germany and makes his way through the urban jungle with all permitted and prohibited means. When he slips into an amour with the mysterious married German Elena, who threatens to lose his head completely. He is born with friend and his mother. His entire existence and the hope for a better life are at stake. Role of Elena is played by Anne Straub. With a strong body of work in her native Germany, Anne broke out into the international marketplace in Zack Snyder's Superman retelling Man of Steel as the villainess Mankora. Other credits include Rennie Harlin's 5 Days of August, The Seventh Son, Simon Curtis, The Woman in Gold with Helen Mirren, and Ryan Reynolds, and Ariel Ronan's Criminal with Kevin Costner, Gary Oldman, and Tommy Lee Jones.